So let me tell you about this story. Now, Foreign Minister Shirley Ayoko says thorough investigations will be conducted into identity and nationality of persons arrested for deportation from the United States before travel documents will be issued to them if they are found to be Ghanaian nationals. The U.S. Embassy last month threatened to restrict issuance of visa to Ghanaians over government's failure to issue travel documents to cover Ghanaians waiting deportation or persons thought to be Ghanaians awaiting deportation from the U.S. JoyNews is learning that hundreds of persons believed to be Ghanaians are in detention centers at the moment, waiting to be deported. Elton has been speaking to the Foreign Affairs Minister.
If you remember, this, what you call a threat, I think what I would call it a statement that they put out, and this is to do with, if you remember, our concern which we expressed about the deportees who they bring back to Ghana and the treatment in terms of they are chained, belly chained and all of that. And I think this is in reaction to that. It was actually part of the Ministry of Information's press conference. So I think they are reacting to that. I don't think at this point we should be worried about what you call a threat of refusal of visas at this point. Whatever it is, we'll sit down and talk about it. We are talking. You see, the issue they have is that when they bring a list of Ghanaians who are to be deported, they want immediately for the mission to issue travel documents for them. But as a country like a serious country like ours, we need to make sure that these people who you have brought and you say they are Ghanaians, they have no identification whatsoever on them. We need to do checks to make sure that yes, this person is a Ghanaian and therefore warrants the travel document that you're asking us to issue to them. So this is, and it takes a while to do these checks. We cannot just do some superficial investigation and then issue a document. We need to go into it, go into the community, make sure that if he's so and so, he's known and he's a Ghanaian. Once it's done, we do issue these things. We are not condoning our nationals flouting the laws of any country, because we don't allow other nationals to flout our laws, but we need also to make sure that we satisfy ourselves that indeed they are Ghanaians.
Certainly, we need to satisfy ourselves that they are Ghanaians. In the meantime, beginning this year, member states of the African Union will start implementing a 0.2% levy imposed on selected imports to fund activities of the African Union. Currently, over 70% of the budget of the continental body is funded by European partners. Foreign Affairs Minister Shirley Ayoko again, who briefed JoyNews on the outcome. He has been briefing JoyNews on the outcome of a meeting at the just ended AU summit in Mauritania on this matter.
There's been a few issues that have been discussed by the Assembly. Issues such as the institutional reforms of the AU itself. And as part of the institutional reforms, you have they looked at how member states have put in place mechanisms to collect the 0.2% levy that has been put on some selected imports. And this is to ensure that the African Union is becomes self-financing rather than relying on donors for about 70% of the funds that are used within the Commission. So I think that from the intervention of member states, it's quite clear that a good number of them have started putting in place mechanisms to ensure that they are able to implement the 0.2%. Ghana has started implementing it, and we are collecting and we are paying. We also looked at ways in which the scale of assessment of member states can be realized in terms of whether we'll be able to penalize countries that do not pay their assessments, and what the scales are from the different tiers that have been given to countries. Ghana is in tier 2. We are in the middle of the year. We have indeed paid up to date our subscription. So these are some of the things that were looked at. Then, of course, the next thing that the heads debated on was the CFTA, the African Continental Free Trade Area. And indeed, it came to light that Ghana and Kenya, we were the first 2 countries to deposit our instrument of ratification. At that same debate, we also realized that a few more countries had ratified. So it's going very well. 44 out of the 55 signed, and the ratifications are going on. And during this meeting as well, some countries will sign. So it won't be 10 countries who haven't signed, but it will be less than that. So it's going quite well. The annexes in terms of the law have been legally scrubbed, and so a lot is going on in terms of the CFTA as well. We reiterated our desire to host the headquarters in Ghana. Indeed, I think 2 other countries also showed interest in hosting. So we'll see how it goes. The process will start. Whether they will host it at the AU Commission temporarily until such time that all the processes are completed before the country is awarded the headquarters.